Today, we're diving into a really powerful idea from Mahāyāna Buddhism. Think of it as a map of spiritual vision that also acts as a mirror, showing us the path to enlightenment. We're going to explore that map, the 5 Buddha Eyes. So let me just start by asking you a question. What if you could see the universe, not just with your 2 eyes, but with 5 completely different kinds of vision? What do you think you would see? And what would it reveal about reality itself? At the heart of all this is the concept of the 5 Buddha eyes, or Gogen in Japanese. Now, the first thing to get is that we're not talking about literal physical eyes here. A better way to think about it is like a ladder of consciousness. There are 5 rungs, 5 ascending levels of perception, starting with our normal sight and climbing all the way up to the limitless awareness of a Buddha. Yeah, thinking of this as a map is perfect. It charts out a really clear path for spiritual development. It shows how perception itself isn't fixed, but something that can be cultivated and refined, taking you from just seeing the surface of things to understanding the very heart of existence. And this idea has some deep roots. It's not a new concept. The 5 R's doctrine shows up in foundational scriptures like the famous Lotus Sutra and was later all laid out systematically in the Perfection of Wisdom literature. So it has a really solid philosophical grounding that's been studied for centuries. All right, so let's begin our climb up that ladder. We're going to walk through this map of perception together, exploring each of the 5 levels one by one. So here's our roadmap. We're going to start with the one we all know, the physical eye. Then we'll expand out to the divine eye. After that, we make a big shift in perception with the wisdom and Dharma eyes. And then we finally reach the summit, the all-seeing Buddha eye. The really cool thing is that each step builds on the last, revealing an even deeper layer of reality. First up is the level we all share, the physical eye, or Nikugen. This is just our everyday biological sight. But as you're about to see, even this familiar vision has some hidden potential. We all know its limits, right? It sees what's close, what's in front of us, and what's got light on it. But here's the twist. Buddhist tradition says this eye isn't actually fixed. It's believed that through spiritual merit, a person's physical sight can be enhanced to see across incredible cosmic distances. Building on that very idea of enhanced sight, we get to the second level, the divine eye, or Tanjin. And this is where perception really starts to go beyond the ordinary. The divine eye completely shatters physical limits. It sees things that are distant, things that are hidden, and it can perceive the entire cycle of birth and death for all beings. We're talking across past and future lives. Traditionally, this profound vision is said to be something you can unlock through deep meditation. And, you can build a really fascinating bridge to our modern world here. In ancient times, meditation was the tool you used to see beyond physical limits. Today, you could say we have our own technological versions of that. Telescopes that show us distant galaxies, microscopes that reveal entire worlds in a drop of water. Our inventions kind of give us a mechanical glimpse of what the divine eye was said to perceive just through consciousness alone. The first 2 eyes were about what you see. But the next 3 are all about how you see. So now we get to the 3rd level, the wisdom eye, or Eigen, and this represents a huge philosophical shift in perception. With the wisdom eye, the focus isn't on seeing more stuff. It's on seeing the true nature of all things. It perceives the principle of shunyata, or emptiness. Now, this isn't a void. It's this profound insight that nothing has a fixed, separate self. Instead, all of reality is just deeply, fundamentally interconnected. So, building on that incredible insight, we come to the 4th level, the Dharma eye, or Hogen. This one is known as the compassionate and practical eye of the Bodhisattva. The Dharma eye turns that insight into action. It's not just about seeing reality, it's about active compassion. This vision lets a bodhisattva understand exactly what teaching will help each unique person on their path. This is the source of what's called skillful means, knowing the absolute right way to help others find enlightenment. And now we've climbed the map, and we've reached the summit. This is the final and all-encompassing vision, the Buddha eye, or Butsugen. This is it, the final destination. We're talking ultimate omniscience. The Buddha eye doesn't replace the other 4. It actually integrates them all perfectly. It's a vision that goes beyond time, beyond duality, seeing past, present, and future with 0 obstruction. For this eye, absolutely nothing is hidden. So, we have this incredible map of perception, but that raises a pretty critical question. how does a person actually open these higher eyes? For this, we're going to turn to a radical innovation in Japanese Buddhism, specifically from the 13th century monk Nichiren. And here, we see this fundamental split in the road. The classical path taught that opening these eyes could take lifetimes of intense, hardcore meditation. But Nichiren, he offered a revolutionary alternative. He said that ordinary people could access this ultimate vision right here and now, simply through the power of faith. In his major work, which is perfectly titled On the Opening of the Eyes, Nichiren lays out these 5 levels just like we have. But the title of his work is the real signal here. He's arguing that having faith in the ultimate teaching, the Lotus Sutra, is the very thing that functions to open the eyes of regular people, allowing them to access this highest vision. The core of Nichiren's teaching is that faith becomes the functional equivalent of vision. He taught that by chanting the title of the Lotus Sutra, Namu Myoho Renge Kyo, a person could immediately tap into the merit and the perspective of the Buddha Eye, basically sidestepping the need for eons of practice. So, how can we bring all of this together? What does this map of vision mean for us today, in a world that feels so far removed from ancient monasteries and sutras? Well, how does this all fit together? The 5 eyes aren't just some isolated idea. They're seen as an inherent part of a Buddha's nature. And crucially, other doctrines say that this very nature, including all 5 eyes, exists as a potential within us. This leads right to the practice. Chanting is presented as the key to unlocking that potential right now. This leaves us with a pretty provocative choice. Is enlightenment some distant goal, earned through immense effort over lifetimes, or is it an inherent potential, something accessible in this very moment? If faith can open the Buddha eye, the eye of omniscience, then what does that reveal about the true nature of reality? And maybe more importantly, about the true untapped nature of you?